Hi, my name is Name the Nerd, but you can call me Name. Last week we had a Nintendo Direct, and as always, the whole world was watching. My biggest question going into the Direct was, what was the holiday title for this year? We had releases all the way up for the first half of the year, but nothing slated for the rest of 2023. But my worries were quickly set aside. Within October and November, we are getting Detective Pikachu Returns, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, WarioWare Move It, and Super Mario RPG. That is a lot of games. Scrolling through social media, however, I see that there is another question about the life cycle of the Nintendo Switch. I mean, it's a conversation that we've been having for a couple of years now, but all of the remakes that are coming out, like the Luigi's Mansion remake, are telling people that the Switch is on the decline. But new fresh titles like Super Princess Peach's follow-up on the Switch is saying that the Switch is more alive than ever. Now, the Switch is beginning to have a longer life cycle than any of the other Nintendo consoles. The SNES, N64, GameCube, and Wii U all had life cycles of 5 years. It wasn't just the Wii U that had a shorter life cycle. The NES and the Wii had a longer life cycle at 6. 2023 right now is the 6th year of the Switch's life. So going into 2024, if we don't get a console, that will set the record at 7 years. But by looking back at the beginning of the Switch's life in 2017 compared to today, I have found a lot of similarities between the Zelda and Mario releases of yesteryear to today. In March of 2017, the Switch blew up thanks to the simultaneous release of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Maybe you've heard of it. While the game had familiar elements from past entries, everything was brand new to the player, like dozens of new areas to discover, mechanics to manipulate the physics of the world, Link's memories. Even the opening shot established that you were starting with nothing, a blank slate. In May of 2023, the sequel, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, finally released. I'm 60 hours in, and I'm not even halfway done with the story, but I can tell you the perspective of this game is like our perspective on the Switch after 6 years. The game looks back on the past to inform the future, and it does this in multiple ways. It's established early on that Zelda has traveled to the far distant past, and the decisions and events made all the way back then directly affect Link and his adventures in the present. But in addition to that, both Link and the player already have a historied relationship with this Hyrule and its people. You go back to familiar ground, and that motivates the player to see how things have changed. But Zelda isn't the only series that had a fan-favorite game in 2017 and 2023. People still celebrate 2017 as an incredible year of gaming because of the 1-2 punch that was Breath of the Wild hand in hand with Super Mario Odyssey. Odyssey took the legacy of 3D Mario games and had a return to form that many fans were craving. It is unlike Breath of the Wild in that way. Breath of the Wild forged a path and a brand new experience. Odyssey fine-tuned what came before to make a wonderful, tightly controlled sandbox 3D platformer. And now, the last piece of the puzzle falls into place with Super Mario Bros. Wonder. While it isn't a follow-up to Mario Odyssey like Tears of the Kingdom is, it accomplishes similar things. 2D Mario has been in a very awkward place. New Super Mario Bros. Games came out very close to each other and all used the same formula, the same art style, the same controls, and so on. New Super Mario Bros. U came out in 2012, and we haven't even seen 2D Mario since then. Except, in 2015, the conversation turned to making your own levels via Super Mario Maker 1 and 2, released in 2019. With the new games running the series into mediocrity, and the Maker games putting level design directly into the hands of the player, how could Nintendo ever make a relevant 2D Mario again? The answer? Take that legacy and reinvent it. Through the new Wonder mechanic where anything can happen, the visuals, the physics, the controls, etc., the answer to the question, where does 2D Mario go next, is to place where the grid-based Mario Maker cannot. And by making such a game firmly in an expressive art style, it leaves the factory aesthetic of the new series behind. The Nintendo Switch began with new worlds to discover, memories to be made, and a return to form that we've been craving. It now appears to be ending by looking back at its accomplishments, exploring every potential to the nth degree, reinventing its reputation by surprising players, and coming up with ideas that we never would have come close to. This is seen through the bookends that are its 2017 and 2023 Zelda and Mario releases. While titles like Princess Peach and Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon are on the horizon in 2024, I think that it would make sense, at least thematically, to see a brand new console release from Nintendo in the holiday of 2024 or maybe the spring of 2025. And of course, I'm always excited to see where Link and Mario choose to go next. My name is Nami the Nerd. Thank you very much for watching. Peace in Christ and Imagine On.